Welcome to Hurry Up Pinball, a show where I teach you how to work on your pinball machine. Today I will show you how to direct capture video from Stern's Spike2 system. So grab your tools and let's get going. Adding a direct video capture method for streaming pinball can greatly enhance the look of your stream. I wanted to thank Buffalo Pinball for posting an article on how to direct capture on Spike2 games, and this tutorial would not have been possible without their information. I've placed a link to the article in the description. I also wanted to thank LiveCatchPinball for the reference sheet for the LVDS adapter board, which helped me sort out the color issues, and to Izzy Pinball for sending me his extra adapter board to test out. Here you can see the LVDS to HDMI adapter and wire bundle along with the HD video capture card. The adapter and wire bundle is available from AliExpress, and the capture card is available from Amazon. You will find links to these items in the description. Please note you cannot run the HDMI adapter board directly to your computer unless you have an internal or external capture card. I tried the HD60S and the CamLink 4K capture cards with this setup, and neither worked. The capture card shown here was only $17 and works perfectly. Make sure to order the bundle as it includes the wires. Since the board ships from China, standard shipping times range from 30 to 40 days. You can pay for expedited shipping of 5 to 8 days. After you place your order for the adapter with wires, go into My Orders on the AliExpress website, click Contact Seller, and send the following message. Please send me the single 8 support 720p, 768p, 960p model. In addition to the adapter, wires, and capture card, you will also need to purchase a male-to-male HDMI cable and some standoff tabs for mounting the adapter board in the back box. If you want to move the adapter board between machines, you can forego the plastic standoffs and buy some magnetic standoffs. When you receive your adapter board, you should have 1 or 2 U-shaped short clips as shown here. In order for the adapter board to output the proper signal, make sure there is 1 U-shaped short clip attached as seen in the picture between S1 and the pin directly to the right. To begin, make sure you have access to the back box from both sides of the cabinet. Before beginning any work, make sure to unplug the pinball machine. Now open the coin door, remove the lockdown bar, close the coin door, and remove the playfield glass. If you have cabinet protectors, now is a good time to install them. Now raise the playfield and rest it on the support brackets, and then remove the pinballs from the machine. Grab the back box keys from inside the coin door. Unlock the back box, lower the speaker panel, and remove the translight. To install the adapter board, we first need to unplug the connector that runs to the monitor and remove the ground wire attached to the post. The connector for the monitor is located at the top center of the board, and the ground wire is attached to the threaded post directly above the board. Before unplugging the monitor cable, grab your hex driver and remove the first nut on the post. Remove the small wire loom, remove the second nut on the post, and then remove the ground wire. With the ground wire removed, squeeze the tab on the top of the monitor connector and unplug the monitor. Remove the wire loom at this time so you can route the cables as necessary. Here is where we will be installing the AliExpress wires from the bundle. When installing the wires, the 4 red wires should be on the right side of the connector. When installing the connector, make sure to leave 1 set of pins on each side of the supplied wires. Take your time and line up the connector with the pins. You do not want to end up bending the pins. The connection will be snug, and you may need to use your fingernail to push the connector in further once properly lined up. It is a good idea to place a finger or 2 on the back of the board to avoid putting pressure on the main board. Now grab the adapter board and install the hold-off mounting tabs or magnetic mounting tabs. Since I won't be moving the board, I use standard plastic hold-off tabs. Now remove the adhesive backing and mount the board. You can mount this adapter board lower than I did here, but make sure it is close enough to plug the monitor connector in and run the ground wire to the threaded post. I have an aftermarket power board installed, so I chose to mount the adapter a little higher than normal. Double check that you have enough slack in the wires, depending on where you decide to mount the adapter board. Here is the position I chose for mounting my board. Now plug in the AliExpress wire connectors to the adapter board. The connector should be installed with the red wires at the bottom. Here is a picture of the first connector once properly installed. This connector is plugged in even with the bottom of the pins. Now grab the monitor connector you removed from the main board and plug it into the adapter board. You want to mount the monitor connector offset down by one set of pins. Notice how the connector overhangs the bottom set of pins on the adapter board by one row on the connector. Here is how it should look when properly installed. Again, make sure the monitor connector is installed as shown here. At this time, reattach the ground wire to the threaded post and then install the first nut. Be sure to hold the ground wire in place so it doesn't spin while you tighten it down. Here is how it should look with the ground wire installed properly. Now install the wire loom on the threaded post and install the second nut. Make sure you have enough slack in the wires to avoid putting pressure on the main board or the adapter board. Here is how it should look with the connectors in place, the wire loom in place, and the ground wire attached. At this time, plug in your HDMI cable to the adapter board and use the existing wire looms or some small adhesive wire looms to secure the cable. Make sure none of the wires are putting pressure on the board or the connection points. Now route the HDMI cable you just installed into the hole in the bottom left of the back box cabinet. After routing the HDMI cable, go ahead and raise the speaker panel and lock it into position. Now route the HDMI cable through the existing wire looms and feed it out the bottom of the pinball cabinet. If you need to loosen up the wire mesh, slide a screwdriver under the mesh and lift it up. I chose to create a U-turn in the cable as an extra layer of protection in case someone yanks on the HDMI cable. With the HDMI cable routed, you can use a staple gun to reattach the mesh to the pinball cabinet. If you need to, add another sticky mount wire loom to the back box for the HDMI cable. Here's how the back box looks with the HDMI cable routed. Now lower the speaker panel, reinstall the translight, raise and lock the speaker panel, and completely lower the playfield. If you use cabinet protectors, remove them at this time and then reinstall the pinballs. Reinstall the playfield glass and lockdown bar and then close the coin door. Go ahead and plug the pinball machine back in at this time, and don't forget to hang the back box keys back on the hook inside the coin door. Turn the pinball machine on and let it completely boot up. You should see the graphics displayed on the monitor during the boot up process. If you need to, grab a chair to place your laptop on for testing purposes. Now grab the HDMI cable that you routed out of the pinball machine and plug in the HD capture card into the HDMI cable. Then plug the capture card into the USB port on your computer. Your computer should recognize the HD capture device and install it on your computer once you plug it in. Now I will show you how to test the input in Streamlabs OBS. Create a scene by clicking the plus sign. Then move over to Sources and click the plus sign to add a source. Select Video Capture Device, click Add Source, select Add a new source instead, and rename it as you like. Then click Add Source. This will bring up the settings for the video capture device. From the drop-down menu, select USB 3.0 HD Video if you are using the capture card I linked in the description. After selecting the card, make sure that you click the Activate button, which is directly under the drop-down menu. Here you can see the direct capture is working properly and the colors are correct. You can now resize the window to your liking to fit your streaming template. If the colors are way off, go back and check that your capture card has the short pin placed properly. Use the picture at the beginning of this tutorial as reference. It is important to remember that most laptops only have one USB root hub, and this means you typically cannot use two of the same video capture devices, as it causes confusion for the laptop and it cannot keep the two separate. This usually results in one or the other capture cards not working. If you stream with a desktop, they typically have multiple USB root hubs, so you can use two of the same capture devices as long as they are placed on separate root hubs. It is also important to remember that a root hub can only handle so much data. You may run into issues if you try to push too much data through a single root hub. I currently run an HD camcorder, a score screen capture card, a mic, an Elgato Stream Deck, and 1 to 2 webcams through my laptop. I run the capture devices at 720p to help reduce issues with bandwidth. If everything looks good, disconnect the capture card, tidy up and secure the HDMI cable, and push the pinball machine back into position. This is Craig with Hurry Up Pinball, and I wanted to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, show your support for Hurry Up Pinball and click the subscribe button. We can also be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under Hurry Up Pinball.